Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Mo Money! 8 months, woo! That must be some kind of record for most episodes of a YouTube show about investing for millennials by a millennial, where the goal of the show is to educate, entertain, and empower a new generation of investors, and hosted by a man named MC Mo, who is suave and has devilish good looks. Not certain? I'll look into it later. Let's get to this week's topic, student debt. Oh, it kills me on the inside just to say it, and I'm sure it makes you cringe just talking about it. For me, college was a fantastic time. I met a bunch of awesome people. I studied abroad in Paris. I took some cool classes. I joined a fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi. I was the president of the hip hop club. I partied and had the full college experience. But sadly, the most relatable college experience that everyone has is months after you graduate, when you start getting those bills for your loans. It's the sobering moment when you finally realize, God damn it, the party is truly over. 7 in 10 students graduate with some type of debt. The average college student leaves with about $30,000 in debt. Some may be saying, wow, that's a lot. Some may be saying, wow, that's it? But the question is, how did we get to this point? And how do we change course? With over $1.1 trillion nationally in student loan debt, and many young people struggling to pay it back as they graduate and continue to graduate into one of the worst economies in our nation's history, and struggling to find jobs, unless you want to be a bartender or a waitress, in which case those job openings happen to be skyrocketing. A real crisis is beginning to surface. How can we make college more affordable? How can we make sure all students can go to college? How can we best prepare a young generation for the workforce? College prices have increased a whopping 1,120% since 1978. Uncoincidentally, 1979 is the year Gerald Ford created the U.S. Department of Education. U.S. Department of Education is the government bureau that provides direct student loans. See, after World War II, the GI Bill was passed to ensure that all returning soldiers had the ability to go to college for free. This was the first instance of the government getting involved in the university sector. Next was the National Defense Education Act in 1958. This bill was influenced by the Russians launching Sputnik. Sputnik was the satellite. Did you not watch that episode of Boy Meets World? Flash! Anyways, after that happened, the USA realized,
holy moly, the Russians are going into space. They're gonna build a giant tractor beam and shoot it at the USA and kill us all.
At least that's what I'm guessing that they were thinking. It was the 50s, people were stupid. So the government agrees to start funding universities to encourage people to start going to school for maths and sciences. The ticking time bomb that we have now all started in 1965 with the passing of the Federal Family Education Loan. This marks the time that the government started guaranteeing all student loans given by banks to parents and students. Why was this bad? Well, there's nothing worse for the economy than a government guarantee, whether it be mortgages, dollars, debt, or student loans. By guaranteeing something, what you are saying is that there is no possible way that this could ever be bad for you. It's like if the government told you, we guarantee these cigarettes are healthy. There is no possible amount that you could ever smoke that would ever be bad for you or kill you. So you have a person who smokes maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes a day, he knows it's bad. Now that burden has been lifted off of his shoulders. Now they're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, blowing it in their child's face. They don't care, it can't hurt them. They're invincible. And that is exactly what happened. The guarantee of never losing money. Why would a bank not give a student a loan? I mean, sure, a student may default, but the government is paying you back if they do. And if you were given about 200 student loans before, now you're giving out 1,000. A couple defaults is surely worth the risk for the reward you'll be making on all these new loans. So now any kid who wanted to go to college had a pretty good shot of going. The number of high school graduates going to college have skyrocketed since 1976. And the government thought, hey, look at us, all right, helping people, making our country better, making it smarter and more educated. Woo! But what they were doing was essentially inflating a bubble. It's basic economics, supply and demand. The more students there were going to college, that means more people bidding for the spots at these universities. The more students, the less supply, the higher the prices go. Universities and colleges with full knowledge of what the government was doing. Hey, this kid can get a $15,000 loan with ease, and we can easily raise prices, so they did. Although it's not definitive, there is a strong case showing the increase of college prices moving the more the government allows students and parents to access for loan. It's like a never-ending climb between the universities and the government. With this increase in tuition, the more the universities had to spend on, well, pretty irrelevant and meaningless amenities, like fancy restaurants in the cafeteria, new stadiums, CEO part-time teachers making $500,000 a year, raises for the university president. How? The government, of course. Since 1976, universities have begun to compete, but it's no longer, hey, we provide the best education, you should come here. It's stupid side stuff, it's salesmanship. Hey, we have a ski resort. Hey, we have a steakhouse. Hey, free phones and laptops. laptops, luxury dorm, huge concert festivals, pools and spas. Oh, and our teachers are decent, the education's alright. Like, that stuff is cool, don't get me wrong, but you can do that stuff anywhere. Is it really worth a 1,200% increase in prices? Since the financial crisis, banks were unwilling to give out student loans, so the government stepped in and started issuing more direct student loans. A move that was already being made by Clinton and Bush to make the government the largest provider of loans. Here's the kicker. The Department of Education actually makes a profit off giving these loans. Last year is estimated by some to be $66 billion. That's how the good old government guarantee is largely responsible for the student loan problem. And more help from them will only make it worse. So what can we do? Well, first we can abolish the Department of Education and get the government out of the student loan game almost indefinitely. Return student loans to the private sector and make banks give them out as they see fit, depending on the amount of risk that they are willing to take. You may say,
well, MC Mo, if we do that, less kids will be able to afford to go to college. Are you a monster?
My answer is no. But I'm about to say something that will make a lot of you angry and might make you have a Ron Swanson moment. Not so many damn kids need to be going to college.
Oh my god, I knew you sucked! This show is awful! I'm done!
Alright, now that you got that out of your system, let me explain. Everyone who is able to go to college should be able to go and should be able to afford. Undebatable. But if you slacked off in high school, guess what? You shouldn't get to go. But more importantly, college is not and was never intended to be for everyone. I've seen some good jobs that require no college degree. I met so many kids at college who had no idea what they wanted to do with their lives. Why are you here wasting money then? And other kids with sorry BS degrees. Medieval history, anthropology, fine arts, dance, film, whatever. That stuff does not belong in colleges and universities. And the students taking those majors should not be forced to learn business, math, law. General education is for K through 12, not college. And I'm not saying those professions are useless, but they do not belong in a university. Economics, biology, finance, maths, business, these make sense. There's a stigma that if you graduate and you're 20 and you're not in college, you're a useless bum leech. That's just not true. We shouldn't force kids who aren't ready to go to college to go. College should only be for when you're ready and you're certain of what you want to do. So if we removed guaranteed loans, stopped forcing so many kids to go into college, removed ridiculous, luxurious, and costly amenities, and returned higher education lending to private banks, and returned to higher education focusing on just that, education, prices would fall substantially. If banks saw you were going to college for economics or finance or whatever, and you got good grades in high school and were going to a good school, you'd reasonably believe that they would give you a loan at a reasonable interest rate, no matter your race or your economic background, because you are a good investment. The kid who got straight C's and is going to major in Latin would either A, not get a loan, B, not get much money, or C, get a loan with a super high interest rate. So let me make my final point. I made fun of dance, film, anthropology as ridiculous majors, and they are, but that does not mean they are ridiculous career paths. If you want to study dance and go become a professional dancer in a ballet, that's fantastic. I love a good ballet. If you want to work in TV or film, that's great. That's a great job. If you want to dig up dead dinosaur bones and be like Indiana Jones, hey, more power to you. But why should Harvard or Ohio State or any other university offer those as majors? They shouldn't. It just drives up the price. So what should be done different? We should encourage businesses to invest in educating people themselves via apprenticeship program or accreditation classes. So if you want to work in film, a studio would hire you out of high school. You'd be an apprentice. After 6 months, maybe they'd hire you. Maybe they don't. But you have 6 months of real experience and $0 in debt. Some other studio may find you attractive and hire you. Or if you want to do coding, instead of going to college, you take a 6-month or 1-year coding class or a 1-year dancing certification class that costs $10,000. Boom, you're done. Google will hire you now, or go be a dancer in a ballet or a dance teacher. You've proved yourself. $10,000 for a one and done thing is nothing compared to a $37,000 degree. Everybody just calm down for what I'm about to say here. Vinny J told me not to say this at all, but I'm going to say it. If we abolish the minimum wage, this would definitely be possible. It sounds awful, but this makes sense. Here's a real example that a painter told me. He hires helpers for his workers, and he pays these helpers substantially less. Okay, but they're on the job site all the time, helping these guys. Guys are teaching them, molding them, guiding them. Within a few months, the guy said if he starts to trust them, he gives them the responsibilities and begins to pay them the average salary. Moral of the story, when you know nothing, you're not worth very much. But if businesses are allowed to pay you a little until they see your value, then they should be allowed to. If they don't increase your wage, fuck them. Peace out. You have all that experience, a little bit of money, better than working a BS college internship and getting $0 and some college credits that cost you money. When you're 18, you have nothing to lose doing this. An apprenticeship is an attractive solution. Sure, like I said, you wouldn't be making much money, but you're not losing tens of thousands of dollars, and you're gaining months, if not years, of real workplace experience. Those 2 years of working for a mechanic are a lot more valuable and attractive in the labor market than a piece of paper that says, hey, I know what the fuck I'm talking about here. Bottom line, the student loan problem and the cost of tuition has gotten out of hand, and we cannot let this continue. Having the government make it free is not a viable solution, just like with healthcare. It's reckless and dangerous. We need to find a way to get those who are suitable for college and would make sense to have higher education, the teaching that they need and that they deserve at an affordable price. At the same time, we need to increase alternatives to college to get others trained, qualified, and operating in the workforce as effectively and quickly as possible. Only 24% of the people used to go to college, and we are still a functioning and productive country. So long, epic festivals, concerts, football teams, lobster dinners every night. The party is over. We need to get back to business, back to investing in our people and giving them the best opportunity to find real and productive jobs and give them the best chance to succeed without being weighed down by thousands of dollars in debt. Thank you so much for watching. You know we'll be here every week with a new episode of Mo Money. For now, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Like me on Facebook. Mo Money, signing out. Eating right, put the house, sleep at night. You'll see the light.